Or like, what the heck? Oh man.
Well,
Sorry, I'm still.
imagine being on the early end of humanity, where you're sitting in a cave painting a picture of a buffalo on the cave wall. You had absolutely no reference or any ability to even ask this question. And yet we happen to be right here at exactly the right time where we can ask the question and answer it.
Right. It's a bit strange. Yeah. Whenever I ponder that, I get a little bit worried that it is a simulation or something, like that that we're just being simulated at a very interesting point in history. But hopefully that's not true. But you're absolutely right. Yeah. Like we didn't even have the concepts until 50, 60, 100 years ago. Right. And good Lord. Exponentially progressing, it seems.
Well, in regards to simulation theory, I have a pet hope regarding that. If that is the case, and we are living in a simulation, I hope it's a dinosaur running the simulation, or like a pterodactyl or something. That's like, I want to see what happens in the future. I think that would be. I think that'd be just really cool.
He's like, what if a meteor killed us? We should simulate that.
Yes, let's run a simulation on the idea of an asteroid striking the Earth. And what would happen after?
Right, exactly.
Now, what do we do next? What's the next step in confirming this signal of phosphine and eliminating, the process of elimination? Because people are thinking, how could you make phosphine without biology? What's the next step? How is this going to go?
Well, you just mentioned, people are going to start thinking about how can we make phosphine without biology. And I think that's going to be very, that's hopefully a lot of chemists, jump on this and really work hard, because the more pathways they rule out, the more likely it is to be life. But if they do happen to stumble upon the right pathway, then we should find that out as early as possible. So hopefully a lot of chemists are jumping on it right now. But, I'm, of course, hoping that I'm pretty sure that right now there's a possible Venus mission like under consideration at NASA, where they would send a balloon that would go and hang out in the clouds for a while and might be able to do some more serious analysis of all the chemical species that are there. I think that is a huge priority now. And I'm hoping NASA will agree, and that this potential mission gets funded to have a balloon floating around and scooping up stuff to look at really closely, because we're just very information poor right now, which is very frustrating.
Isn't it amazing though? A month ago, had we had this conversation, we would have been talking about Mars and how
absolutely,
and that how we should go to Mars and prioritize Mars in the search for life and astrobiology. Mm-hmm. That all changed in a day. It's now Venus.
That's why that's why that's this sort of blue sky random stuff. Like who would have, I don't know. No one would have, it wouldn't have occurred to anybody to look for phosphine in Venus's atmosphere until quite recently. And that kind of out there idea should be pursued. This is like such a beautiful example of why that type of stuff is so darn important, because you're right, we might have just been barking up entirely the wrong tree with which planet we were focusing on. It's ridiculous. 50 years.
I think it's indicative of life surprises. You never know what to expect from it, and here, lo and behold. But the one last thing I wanted to discuss with you real quick is this isn't really the first hint of life that Venus has given us.
True. Yeah.
We see some strange stuff with Venus and ultraviolet. We see these weird patterns of dark, dark splotches and, things that appear and change and look, strangely enough, like blooming algae, things like that.
Right.
Now, presuming, and this is a big presumption or assumption, that it's the same thing that's creating the phosphine gas.
Right.
We can study that from Earth. We don't even need to go to space or go to Venus. So we can sit there and watch, presumably, migratory patterns of Venusian microorganisms from the comfort of home. And that, I'm sure somebody's going to be doing that, quickly.
Right. They better be, yeah. I'll be angry at anybody that has access to the proper instruments and isn't trying as hard as they can to point them right at Venus right now.
And my point being is that we can study this from here right now.
Yeah, true. Absolutely.
And we're going